I am working on reproducing W-Woods 12 revising radar constructions.nb and trying to fix this program. Let me go over what the basic issue is. It's that I have the isoclines being rendered incorrectly here. Basically I've rendered the isoclines for the opposite direction as they should be. We should be drawing isoclines which start at this end and slope downward to the right, and those should be the time isoclines, and the distance isoclines should run parallel to this ED line. Same thing down here, we should have, or just the opposite down here, we should have isoclines that run slope upwards for time, and then the distance isocline should be parallel to OE. So what I want to do then is to figure out exactly where I have gone wrong in the code. But I was working on reproducing W-Woods 11 revising radar chord construction, which did essentially, where I was looking for the error and I screwed things up more. So I'm going to go back to 11 to look for the comments in my code. And the first place where I see, well, I started putting this CHEX, just something to do a search for, because the code is like 12 or 13 pages long. But checks is just a way of searching the code for where I think the error might be. The error here is, or the possibility of an error here is in the module get4 events. And the four events are here, here. The associated four events, basically it takes a parameter r, which is the distance from this event to some event here. So here might be the distance, the horizontal distance here would be r. I'm not even sure now. The horizontal distance from this event to another event on the light cone. And those are the easiest events to work with because they stay on this light cone, and you use the Lorentz transformation, but they stay on the light cone when you transform them. That's the nature of the speed of light, that the event does not stay in the same place, but the slope stays the same. The speed of light, the velocity of speed of light separated event stays the same. So just given the what this looks like, I want to try to describe what the code is doing right now, because what it's doing is it's basically taking this event and this event and this event and this event, those four events on the light cone, and it is tilting them the wrong direction. It needs to transform so that those events are selected in the opposite direction. Then it is also rendering the isoclines of distance and time so that they go in the wrong direction. So I think I need to fix two things to get this to work. Number one, because I kind of cheat on the rendering of the those lines, in that I'm basically picking an event that I know should match this slope. But I think there are two things that I need to change about the code to get it fixed. Adjust the transformation of the four events so that they are selected in the right direction. And then 2, adjust the selection of the past and future events so that they have the slope of the relevant world line. So really, it's going to be a very modest amount of modification that I need to do to fix this code, I think. The one that get4 events, I believe, contains this element. But once I change those that give for events, things start to look confusing. But let me see if it looks the way I expect it to, which is that the events are selected properly, but then the isoclines of distance are sloped in the wrong direction. That's my expectation, that when I fix those for events. All right, but how to fix the get for events? We're going to look at transform list around event, and we're trying to determine whether we use max v barbara for the past or negative max v barbara. So basically, I really think I can just switch these signs and have a look-see at the result. It does look like this is now sloped in the direction that I want it to be. So that is a good sign, and all I need to do then is adjust I need to adjust this so that it selects an event that is parallel, or so that it makes these lines parallel to ED, and it makes these, the isoclines of constant distance, parallel to OE. And so another place that I have the checks code is endpoints for the past extend from P1, P2. It goes the negative of Barbara's velocity, and then I got a question mark. And basically, it was this element here. You take 0.1 plus 10v comma minus 10, or that's your past 1 future. Basically, okay, the past 2 event is past 1 plus 10v minus 10. The future 2 event is future 1 plus 10v comma 10. Basically, what I want to do is reverse the slope on those two. So I think it's just going to be a matter of sticking in minus 10v in both of those. Let's give that a shot. It's in the function dg distance isocline. And I'm just going to hit minus 10v, and see if that fixes it. And we check, and all of the isoclines of constant distance up here are parallel to ED, which they should be. And all of the isoclines of constant time are right there. And so finally, let's go ahead and hit the play button and see this thing animate. See if it stays, if it keeps looking correct when the play button is running. I'll slow down the animation. Oh yes. This is, I think, what I've been wanting to see. I slowed it down too much. This looks good. So you can see that as the traveling twin accelerates, their axes line up with the outbound reference frame, and then they get to event E, and then they accelerate to the left until their axes line up with the inbound reference frame. So of course, this isn't to scale in time. They would line up almost instantaneously. Or you could say that the turnaround is shown in slow motion, so that. But basically, this is my essential point, is that the Dolby Gull radar time coordinates, yes, they're well defined, and you can put them, you can draw them on a Minkowski space-time diagram, but it does not at all prevent the time from being doesn't at all prevent the distant now to swing forward and backward. It just puts labels on the coordinates that don't really express their positions, but it does put labels on it. So anyway, I'll stop there. I'm glad I got that done finally. I've been looking at it for days and trying to figure out the error. and I hope you have enjoyed watching. Thank you.